On YouTube and other places, I am told to be kind to monsters. What's a monster? Well, we had monsters can either go down in history or just be a blip. Okay? Serial killers are blips. Mass murderers are usually blips. One thing about their psychiatrists have looked into why young children go out and mass murder. They want to be famous. What? You ask a teenager today, I want to be famous. What's the way to be famous? Become a mass murderer. Yes. But let's talk making of a monster. Julius Caesar is known by why? Did he do very much writings? I don't know. He has some busts around, some statues around. Yeah. But he had a ghostwriter, Shakespeare. Who might have had a ghostwriter? Okay. Monsters usually telegraph what they're going to do. That's something about writing, yes. It's like, I'm planning to take over the world, so I'm going to give you my memoirs. What first am I going to do? I don't know. But something like, well, I don't know if the Kaiser in World War I took it over, but he convinced a lot of people that conquering Europe was something. Napoleon did the same thing. Leaders of countries, or however they get in, did the same thing. King George, when 1776 came around, why, those are my people out there. Yes, sir, my subjects. They're going to do what I tell them to do. Yes, sir. And he lost the colonies. Oh, boy, did he lose the colonies. Well, there's something else, too. He had to go across the pond to get to the colonies. And one of the things happened was smallpox. It took out they had 12,000 colonists as prisoners, and 10,000 of them died of smallpox. And one of the things George Washington did to his troops in Valley Forge and places like that, he got them all inoculated against smallpox, and it's cut its death rate 95%. But that's besides the point. Leaders basically will put out memoirs of what they're planning to do. They're going to be generals, so they have to tell their men what they're going to do. And it might even be published what they're going to do. Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler said he was going to do. And he was going to blame for all the problems of Germany. Maybe it's a good thing he did. Yes. He told people ahead of time what he was going to do. A lot of them didn't believe him. He was going to have the final solution. Either him or Eichmann. But yeah. Joseph Stalin, when he got into power, basically said he was going to do. And if you were not part of the party, you were dead. And he did it. Even those a part of the party, he told what people he was going to do. Joseph Stalin in Russia had pictures, little candles in front. He was worshipped by his people as a god because he had power over life and death. And he wrote about it too. And he told people ahead of time what he was going to do. And he did it. He said, this is my orders, this is what I do. And we always thought that, that final solution, killing all the Jews and all the other undesirables, why, it will never happen again. Well, let's see where it didn't happen. Pol Pot, How many millions did he kill? And he said that what he was going to do. He was going to take all the people from the cities and put them in the countryside, and they're going to grow food. What he also did is shoot anybody with glasses on. Any government official. Anybody that didn't have their hands dirty. Well, let me see. Chairman Mao Zedong, what did he do when he took over? Why, he said exactly what he was going to do. He was going to rid the country of drug trafficking and prostitution. And for about 2 years, he did that. Within 2 years, there were no drug addicts in the country, and there were no prostitutes in the country. They seem to have been re-educated. I don't like that word, re-educated. Okay. When Saddam Hussein took over his government, Iraq, he said what he was going to do. He was going to get rid of all his enemies. The first time he got in, he had brought all these people to this great big room. And he had his agents. He had a list of people that he was going to get rid of. He did. His agents walked in there, grabbed people out of the audience, and they vanished. Boy, did he do a job on that. His bath party basically took over the country, and if you disagreed with him, that thing. He had a son that loved to rape brides. He had a son who liked to take his enemies and throw them to the tigers, literally, or the bears. Saddam said what he was going to do with Israel. Waste it. He said what he was going to do with the United States. Waste it. He had biological, chemical, and nuclear weapons. What's nuclear? Did he have the bomb? No, but he did have several hundred tons of yellow cake, which in itself is radioactive, which is in itself, he said, if I take a pound of this, and I go and spread this over Tel Aviv, and all that radiation comes down, nobody will be living in Tel Aviv. Could he have done it? Yes, he could have done it. He's worth billions, oil billions. Let's see. Khomeini, when he was in France, he's told exactly what he was going to do when he gets into the excuse me, what he was going to do when he went back to Iran. His form of Islam will be the main thing. Everybody else is going to be in trouble. So once he got back to Iran, he took all the little clerics from around the thing who basically disagreed with him, put him in one room, and give this big speech of what his form of that thing is. They didn't have to agree or disagree with him, because he said, "I've got to go to the washroom. Be right back." They closed the doors and they gassed the place. I believe they left. One of the things they used was CO2. People just simply went plop. They replaced the oxygen with CO2. CO2 being heavier and oxygen being lighter. They sucked out the oxygen and threw in the CO2. Of course, all the doors were locked and all the vents were locked, and he suffocated everybody. So, will of Allah. We have all those little despots out there. Putin was going to bring back, and he did. He invaded Ukraine. He basically set all his forces, say, "Oh, no, he's just exercising." Yeah, in the dead of winter, he's out there exercising his troops, and put them all around the country. And what did he do? He invaded. And then it got an early spring, and his tanks were stuck on the road. And he still invaded. Well, of course, he did Crimea first as a, exercise first, and nobody did anything. Then he got a early spring, and his tanks were stuck on the road. And he still invaded. Well, of course, he did Crimea first as a, exercise first, and nobody did anything. Then he got a early spring, and his tanks were stuck on the road. And he still invaded. Well, of course, he did Crimea first as a, exercise first, and nobody did anything. Nobody did anything. Nobody's. People that complained in that, but yeah. Coming to the United States. You know Donald Trump? Yeah. The Republicans, they said what they were going to do when they got in there. Took over the U.S. Supreme Court. Yep. Somebody says, what do you mean? Donald Trump, when he lost the election by 7 million votes, I did not lose. They were stolen from me. That was pre-planned, too. They pre-planned him and everything else. He said when he gets into the White House again, and nobody will dare run against him, what he's going to do, he's going to go after the people that ran against him. Ron DeSantis, hear that? He's going to come after you. No one will ever run against him again. No one will disagree with him again. He will control the U.S. military. He will control DOJ. It will be his, as it was when he was president. He said what he's going to do. He's going to go after the Democrats in Congress, the ones who impeached him. And for good reason. He's going to go after the DOJ, who are trying to... Well, what are you going to do with this, Donald? What are you going to do with these people? He's going to throw them in jail, throw them in prison. I'm president. They're going to do what I tell them to do. Oh, shit, we got a... Sorry about that. Oh, boy, we got a Hitler. Hitler did the same thing. Do we have a Fuhrer there? Well, we could very likely have one. But he said exactly what he's going to do. If you're not a good Republican, you're in trouble. If you voted against him, you're in trouble. If you're happy to be a Democrat, you're in trouble. And he's going to weaponize everything. They're going to do as I tell them to, or else. Oh, God. Concentration camps. Oh, not in America. Oh, no. Or he has his little armies. He's going to, that's going to be his private army. And he's basically out there. The Republicans are out there going along with him. Oh, boy. Of course, what could happen is they throw his ass and his rear end into jail ahead of time. And he'd really charge him with treason or Espionage Act. Because he did try to overthrow the January 6th. He tried to overthrow the government. Poor Mike Pence. Well, making of monsters is not Hollywood, folks. They're not in books, folks. We've got a monster on our hands. Or we're lucky. He gets charged by the DOJ and he flees the country. Now, he does have, in the Middle East, hotels. He can flee those countries. The ones that don't extradite people. Just saying.